Appiyantu mamangani Pakpranasyakshushrutramathu balamendriyani cha sarvani Sarvam brahmopanishadam Maham brahma nirakuriyam Mama brahma nirakarut Anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaste mai santu Te mai santu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihim. May quietness descends upon my limbs, my speech, my breath, my eyes, my ears. May all my senses wax clear and strong. May Brahman show himself unto me. May I never deny Brahman, nor Brahman me. I with him and you with me. May we abide always together. May there be revealed to me who am Jivotya to Brahman, the holy truth of the Upanishads. Om, peace, peace, peace be to all. This morning our subject is Stories of Vedanta Monks, part 26. It is a series of lectures based on the old monks of the Ramakrishna Order, who are the disciples of Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Holy Mother. They are second generation monks of our order. Sri Ramakrishna was the origin, then his direct disciples and their disciples. What is the main theme of this lecture is how they are trained. Training is very, very important in spiritual life. I collected many reminiscences of these Swamis and their diaries. I interviewed them and I have many tapes. And some reminiscences I got from their own diaries. So this is the way we produced 2 volumes, 1040 pages. A very rich in spiritual aspect of these monks. Ramakrishna emphasized again and again, have the company of the holy, which is very, very important for the spiritual life. Real holy company means satsang. Sat means existence, Brahman. So it is not so easy to get the association of Brahman because Brahman is transcendental, no name, no form. If you have company of the Brahman, you need tremendous renunciation and purity, and you will have to negate this whole world from your mind. Very difficult. So came one step down, God, with name, with form, like Vishnu, Rama, Krishna. Of course, Rama, Krishna, they are avatars. So come one a little down, so that we love to communicate with human God, avatars, like Rama, Krishna, Jesus, Buddha. They are God in human form. It is easy to communicate. Why? Because we know their lives, we know their teachings. Sometimes we know their pictures. So it is easy to communicate with these divine beings. And when we do not get the association of these people, some saints, mystics, some holy people, and holy books, they also give us company. The spiritual life needs preparation. And you need a lot of patience and perseverance. I remember one of our students used to come here, she used to take my corrections of my manuscript to the computer. So I was asking, expedite, do it fast. So she gave me a wonderful lesson. Swami, T. So I said, what is T? Swami, things take time. Things take time. I got a great lesson from that person. Same thing, spiritual life, it takes time. I remember when I first came to the monastery, I was 22. The one Swami was asking about my past life. Then he says, 22 years your life moved this direction. Now you will have to reverse it, another 22 years. But do you know, Patanjali, the father of yoga psychology, told, Tibro Sangveganam asannaha. The people, those who have tremendous speed, extremely sincere, they can change their life very quickly. It depends upon how you drive your car. You can drive 5 miles speed, 10 miles speed, 70 miles speed, 90 miles speed, 100 miles speed. It depends upon you, how you drive your car. So those who are sincere, they give tremendous speed, that in this very life I shall make it. In old age, very difficult. At that time, the blood becomes very slow, that energy goes down. Whatever you do it when you are physically, mentally strong. Spiritual life. I read a very interesting book on Buddhism. Being nobody, going nowhere. That is the name of the book. Very interesting. That book says, before God realization, chopping wood, carrying water. After God realization, chopping wood, carrying water. Do you know what does it mean? It means that after God realization, a change will come. But change will not be visible physically. Your 2 eyes, 2 hair, 1 hair, 2 hands, 2 feet, they will remain the same. But your inner being will change. Your character, your behavior, your dealings with the people, all these things will change. All divine qualities will manifest inside you. You will be extremely truthful, loving, pure, unselfish. Those qualities will bubble up inside you, and your face will shine. That is called transformation in a spiritual life. It takes time. You cannot do it overnight. Sometimes when I see some people are angry or use very sharp tongue, hurt people, that means that person did not get the taste of the spiritual life. Our Upanishad says, Jiva me madhumattama, let my tongue emit only sweetness. In whom, day-to-day life, sometimes we lose temper, use sharp words. They call it Bhak Purush. Do you know what they mean? When somebody will speak, something will cut your heart. Never use such words, because that thing will come back to you. What you will project, that thing will come back to you. If you show a smiling face on the mirror, you will get a smiling reflection. Gloomy face, gloomy reflection. Angry face, angry reflection. When a person is angry, he looks so ugly. We lose temper. Why? As Krishna says, kamat krudho vijayate. If your desire is not fulfilled, you become angry. Anyhow, main thing is the spiritual life. Sri Ramakrishna gave another illustration. Siddha. Siddha means perfect, illumined. And Siddha means well-boiled. A Siddha, aloo Siddha, potol Siddha, boiled potato, boiled eggplant, all these things we say boiled. When it is fully boiled, that vegetable becomes very soft, extremely soft. We make mashed potato. We boil that potato for a long time. When it becomes very soft, at that time we mashed it. So when a person becomes illumined, that person becomes very soft, extremely soft. His nature, his mind, very soft, very sweet, very tender, very loving, very compassionate, forgiving. All these qualities manifest in that person. You see, whether you are spiritual or not, how can we evaluate? These are the signs of an illumined soul. That we want to watch in this monk's life, that how they led their life, how they lived in this world. Preparation. God realization comes in the twinkling of an eye. It does not take time. To prepare a pecan pie, how much work is involved to make a pecan pie or a pumpkin pie? But when we eat, just within few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, pie is gone. Preparation. That is very, very vital in a spiritual life. I shall tell you a few Indian stories, folklore. A rich young man went to the monastery to be a monk. The head of the monastery told him, this life is not for you. You lived in luxury. Now you have come to lead this kind of austere life. You please go home. No, please help me. I like to lead this life. Then the head Swami says, all right, try. But here you will have to do a lot of physical work. So he agreed, cooking, cleaning, chopping wood, carrying water from down the hill. So he was very tired. He was not getting any joy, and the teacher, the guru, was not instructing him. He was a little depressed. One day he decided to run away. So he took the jar, an earthen jar on his shoulder, and going to bring water from downstream. So when he went near the lake to carry that water, he was thinking, let me drop this pitcher and I shall go. So when he was about to leave, the pitcher began to talk. Hello, you are leaving? Then he was surprised. My goodness, the pitcher talks. You did not pass the test and you were running away. Listen to my life story, the pitcher said. I was mad. People would walk over me. Then one day, a potter came and with a shovel took me in a basket and carried me to his courtyard and dumped me there. Several years I was there, rain, sun, several seasons I was on the courtyard. Then one day, he again shoveled me and put water and started to knead me. And he removed all the pebbles and sand and all the rubbish stuff. He cleaned me completely. He cleaned me completely and made me beautiful soft clay. Then he took the clay and put in his potter's wheel. You see, when a potter's wheel rotates, he put it in the wheel. Then he gave it shape and then made me. I am now a jar carrying water. He gave a shape, and then again he put it in the sun to dry. Many days I was in the sunburn. Then the potter took me and put into clean, heavy, very hot fire. Look, my body collection was dark. Now I am red colored, this picture. And then these monastery people bought me in the market. Then I came here. Previously people would walk over me, now these monks are carrying me on their head and on their shoulder. Look, listen to my story. You better take water and go back to the monastery. He came back and started his spiritual life. That is called preparation. How a mud became a pitcher and became useful. So this human body is very precious. We can use it for God. God will use our bodies. You see, all bodies are not the same as you see human beings. Some are worldly, some are no good for the spiritual life. It is not their fault. It is an evolutionary process. The time has not yet come. One day, after several births, that person also will change and come to spiritual life. Spiritual life is not for everybody. Sri Ramakrishna says, bhog na hole tyag hoy na. A person's renunciation does not come without going through enjoyment. Sadhu Sangha. The teacher told another very interesting story. A bumblebee made a friendship with a real bee. And says, we are both friends, both we can walk, we can fly. Let us go and fly one day together. Both flew and both sat on a lotus. So the bee sipped a little honey and flew away to go on to another flower. But the bumblebee sat there. So it was evening. That lotus, the moment sun sets, the petals close. When sun rises, petals open. That is the way the lotus works. So the petals closed and the bumblebee was there. Early in the morning, a Brahmin picked it up for his worship and put that flower on the head of Lord Shiva. And he was very happy. Bumblebee was there, and look, I was in a mud or in the cow dung, I lived there, and now I am on the head of Lord Shiva. Then when the worship is over, the pujari, the priest, dropped all the flowers in the Ganges. Generally, those odd-shaped flowers we do not throw away here and there. So we put that thing in the Ganges, and the flower was floating by the current of the river. This bee was searching his friend. Where is my friend? So that bee located his friend and said, hey friend, where are you going? You will die, this water will kill you. Well, no friend, I don't want to go back to my place anymore. Look, I lived in that Kamjang, then I sat on the head of the Lord Shiva, now I am in the Ganges, holy place. By your association, I got this nature, divine nature. So let me die in the Ganges. The moral of the story, holy company. How holy company takes our mind to God, and so that we can fly in the spiritual realm. There are many, many stories we hear from the Indian lore. Now I shall start my book. As I showed you, this is the book This is volume 2. Prachin Sadhuder Katha. Prachin means old, ancient, sadhu means monks, katha means stories. I started this Swami's reminiscences last time, Swami Parameshananda. I met him a few times, I remember, in 1986, either 82 and 86. I was in Benares. And the Swami used to go for a walk in the afternoon. We have a retirement home in Benares. So after a few rounds around our hospital ground lawn, he used to come and sit on the steps. And I used to sit there and we used to talk. So I said, Maharaj, do you walk every day? He said, yes. If I do not walk, I shall lose my habit. I walk every day. He was a disciple of Holy Mother, and he lived in Udbodhan for many years. Now I shall tell his reminiscences recorded by Swami Dhireshananda. 4th March 1981, Benares. The Swami recounted his reminiscences. I was the priest in Udbodhan, mother's house, where Swami Sharadananda stayed. He was the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order. That house was so small. Mother used to stay upstairs, or the women, and Sharadananda stayed this side, and downstairs, a few rooms where monks used to stay, the bookshop, kitchen. I remember in 1950 when I went there, it was a very small place. In a room we used to eat and then they will wipe it and then the monks will sleep there. Spreading mat and a pillow, that is the way the monks used to sleep. Anyhow, so this Swami used to sleep at the entrance near the window. Then Sharadananda said, Hare, I see somebody sleeps there, you'll have to use mosquito curtain. I sleep there, who sleeps there? Maharaj, I sleep there because there is no room. My goodness. Next to your place there is a gas meter. If that meter bursts, I shall be responsible for that. Please don't sleep there. You go and sleep on my bed. Maharaj, how can I sleep on your bed? Why? Yoginma's 2 grandsons used to sleep there. I sleep on the floor, in my room. You sleep on my bed. My goodness. He could not believe that he was the General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Order, a Jaded disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. How this Swami loved people. The monks who could not adjust with in other places, they used to come and shelter in Udbodhan. Holy Mother and Swami Sharadananda will take care of them. Then he talked about another Swami, Bhumananda. He was also a Holy Mother's disciple, but he was a very rough person. So in the office, then sometimes he used to sleep in the office room on a couch. So these 2 Swamis were talking, this Swami Parameshananda had fever. So he wanted to go to bed a little early. So he asked the Swamis, I want to sleep here. They did not respond. Then he brought his mosquito curtain and a pillow and wanted to lie there. And he showed, you please go somewhere else. Then Swami Bhumananda complained against this monk to Swami Sharadananda that, this monk has a very rough temper and he wants to challenge me. Sharadananda kept quiet. He was a wise monk. Never judge a person without listening both sides. Then you are not a good judge. If I hear only your side and if I do not hear other side and make a decision, no. I must hear both sides. That is the way a good judge gives his judgment. So he asked, Swami Sharadananda asked this young monk, Parameshananda, hey, what happened? This Bhumananda complains against you. Then he said, Maharaj, this happened, I had fever, I wanted to sleep and they are chatting and I just told very strongly that I want to sleep right now. Please leave this place. Sharadananda smiled and said, do you know, let me tell you a secret. This monk is coming from a Buddha family. Buddha means they are not Brahmins, a little lower than Brahmins. And you come from the Brahmin family. So when he loses temper, you just bow down to him and take the dust of his feet. Then he will be very embarrassed. Oh my goodness, that is the secret, that is the way you can you can conquer his heart. Just show your humility. You know, sometimes in our day-to-day life, sometimes we go have so many friction, this and that. If you show your humility, you will see immediately all problems and friction will stop. Show your humility. But yes, Maharaj, that I can do. He is a senior and his mother's disciple. Lokabhyavahar. In community life, you must know how to deal with people according to person, according to place, according to time. If you want to be a leader, this is extremely important. So the cook was not cooking right. Page cook, unmindful, sometimes cooking is burnt, or sometimes, various kinds of problems. So what happened, this Swami called the cook. Ananda, last few days I am watching the food is not cooked right. What is the matter? Put your mind, concentrate on in cooking. You see, this is called practical Vedanta. Practical Vedanta means that you must be perfect in every respect. Cooking, cleaning, everything you do, perfect. So there is no perfection in your cooking. He scolded him. In our monastery I used to watch in Belur Math how they offer food to Sri Ramakrishna. Morning at 4 o'clock, they will give the mouthwash to the Sri Ramakrishna, then they will give him breakfast, then that is the early in the morning, 4 o'clock. Some sweets, a glass of water. Then at 8 o'clock, there will be regular worship, fruits offering. Then at 11:30, lunch. Then at 4 o'clock, again refreshment. Then at 8:30, 9 o'clock, again dinner to Sri Ramakrishna. Then put Sri Ramakrishna to bed. As you lead your life in day-to-day, your routine, same way they worship Sri Ramakrishna, as if he is still living. If you go and watch them, then you see that how to worship Lord. The very orthodox way, very routine way they serve God. Not an image, it's living. That is the way we worship Sri Ramakrishna. 17th November 1982, I was the worshipper, priest in Udbodhan. Then Swami Sharadananda says, I feel that I want to make you the head of a center. He says, Maharaj, please forgive me, I don't like to be the head of a center. Why? But I have enough experience in Bankura. I don't want to be the head. Then Sharadananda said, those who are capable, they do not want to be the head. And those who are not capable, they want to be the head. Please make me the head of a messenger. They have ambition, they have desire. Then Swami says, you know, it is not easy to do the public work. First, you build your character. Show that you are a real leader. So many people will come, you will have to adjust with those people. Name and fame will come. You will have to digest the name and fame. Otherwise your ego will be inflated. The moment you have a big ego, bas, you are doomed. Ego, pride must have a fall. Ego. Number one enemy in spiritual life, always remember, ego. Swami Sharadananda wrote that Swami Sri Ramakrishna's life. In the evening, after Vesper, all devotees would come to his room, and if they had any questions, he would talk. And these young monks, they wanted to hear that what he said. Then one day Swami told him, instead of standing here to what I say, those things are all in the books, go to upstairs. Go to Holy Mother's room, where she stays, and that is the shrine. There you go and repeat your mantra. In 1926, Ramakrishna Math Mission started working committee. Do you know what working committee means? Our order, this is the president, vice president. Then they are spiritual head, they give initiation. They are the top. They look at the spiritual side. And then comes the executive branch, general secretary. He has secretariat, 3-4 assistant secretaries. And then the trustees, those who are elected by the monks. Those who are 20 years standing monks, only they can elect. Then they made another group. Trustees are the decision maker about the order. Then one group laid down, they called working committee. Some of the young generation, responsible monks, they select, come to the working committee, because these people will be eventually be the trustees. So this working committee was formed in 1926. I remember a funny story. One day Swami Bhubananda told Swami Sharadananda, Maharaj, you are now old, you should retire. Swami Sharadananda says, I like to retire, but you should resign. Then he says, I gave resignation 3 times, but nobody wants to accept my resignation. What can I do? I submitted my resignation, but nobody accepted my resignation. Swamiji made him the general secretary. So till death, he was the general. General secretary means he is the executive head of the whole order, decision maker. Anyhow, she was talking about the general working committee. You know, nowadays people do not want to work without a position. You know, I am a position, a post. Now I am toward the end of my life. I don't know what position he is. He is the general secretary. I don't feel that I am a general secretary. He was a guru. He initiated people. I don't feel that I initiate. I am a guru. I just work for the master. I am a servant of Sri Ramakrishna. Look, the attitude of these people. No ego. I am just an instrument in the hands of Sri Ramakrishna. 25th December 1982, Benares. One day Swami Sharadananda told another brahmachari, his name was Gonin, "Hey, you are a disciple of the mother, why don't you go and sit in the shrine and meditate?" Maharaj, my mind is not there. He was a publication manager, great worker, but does not want to practice his spiritual disciplines. Somebody suggested that he should take monastic vows because he was a brahmachari, a novitiate. Holy Mother said, no. He should not get monastic vows. He had to go outside, he had to do many errands, he had to go to the devotees, this and that, He has many things to do outside. Holy Mother knew his past, present and future. He was not the very right person to take monastic vows. Later on he left the order. Mother knew. The Swami said, this Gonin told me that I have seen many people in my life, but I have not seen another person like Swami Sharadananda, who never deviates from the truth, who never deviates, who never compromise with the truth. Was straight. But his character is superb, an ideal character. Then Swami Shankarananda told this Parameshananda, look, his name was Dhoruni Maharaj. Look, Dhoruni, he met Holy Mother, he met Swamiji. He was my guru. So he said, I am old. Do you know what I have seen in spiritual life? Sri Ramakrishna forgives. 99 times he will forgive. But when it becomes full, 100 times he will take action. 99 times he will forgive. In this order, if any monk wants to do anything wrong, he will be forgiven 99 times. But finally, they will take action. If you do not follow the discipline of the monastic life, they will take action. No. Sri Ramakrishna's order should be pure. He also says, do you know, there is a Bhairav, a guardian angel of Shiva, moving in this order with a trident in hand. If anybody does anything wrong, he pushes that person out. We do not want to tarnish the goodwill of the order. Swami told this Parameshananda. The Swami continued, sometimes I used to go for tapasya outside, not in the monastery. Some monks do. Do you know what do they do? At that time they bake food. There are in Banaras, in Hardwar, in Rishikesh, in Uttarkashi, there are some chhatra. Chhatra means free kitchen. Some rich people provide food for the monks. Clothing, blanket, water pot, they give to the monks. That is the way they get virtue. That I am serving some people, those who are trying to realize God. In India, many rich people, they give money to support these monks so that they can practice his spiritual disciplines. So he was there practicing spiritual disciplines. Then one day he came to see Swami Sharadananda and said, Sharadananda told him, let me tell you a secret about the spiritual life. take one attitude and focus, devote your whole energy, mind, in that attitude for some time. For example, then you will get the result. So he is telling that I used to do Purusharan. Purusharan means they take a vow that I shall repeat mantra 30,000 times a day or 40,000 times a day. Do you know Purusharan, how does it mean? Let me tell you how they do it. Today 1,000, today second day 2,000, next day 33,000. In this way they go to 14,000. According to Tithi, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, the 15th day is the full moon. Then new moon comes. Then they go down. Today, then 12,000, 13,000, 14,000 go. Then they will reverse. 14,000, 13,000, 12,000, 11,000. In this ascending order, descending order. In this way they repeat mantra. They take a vow. That is called Purusharan. It is an experiment in spiritual life. A Holy Mother used to say, you know, some people come and complain, Mother, I am restless, my mind is not under control, what shall I do? Mother says, repeat mantra. I used to practice 15 to 20,000 times a day. That will bring your mind calm, serene. That is the way it works. Purusharan. Another thing, Swami Turiyananda also gave a very beautiful advice. Look, I experimented a spiritual life. 3 months, only bhakti, only devotion. I read only bhakti literature and meditated in that way, in that attitude, and only devotion, nothing else. 3 months. Next 3 months, only knowledge, Upanishad, or Brahma Sutra, high philosophy, intellectual, that knowledge approach. 3 months. Next 3 months, Karma Yoga. Do you know as a result what happened? In 3 months, if you constantly practice one attitude, they leave a deep impression in your mind. Others, little, that will not give deep impression. It will penetrate inside your mind. I am just telling you how these monks experiment a spiritual life. It is very important. How do they do it? How do they get the result? Swami says, as a practice, do you know what happened to me now? My mind is now full of calmness and serenity. I don't have any more restlessness. That comes from spiritual life. There is no end of Maya. If you really want peace and joy and bliss in your life, practice, practice, practice. Follow what your Guru said. Swami Sharadananda was staying at Kirandatta's house, which is close to our monastery. A devotee asked him, Swami, there is a book called Kashi Khanjo. It is in the Gargo Purana. A section of that Purana is called Kashi Khanjo, the glory of Benares. It is the abode of city, abode of Shiva, Benares, Vishwanath. It's a very holy place in India. So this devotee asked, Maharaj, I heard in Kashi Khanjo that Kashi Maranat Muktihi, the moment you die in Benares, you will be liberated. Whereas the Vedanta scripture says, Jnanat Muktihi. No, mukti man, liberation comes from knowledge. From the knowledge of Brahman, knowledge of God, mukti, liberation comes. So what is the solution of this problem, of this contradiction? Swami Sharadananda said, why are you raising this kind of question connected with lack of faith? Abhishasher kotha. You are talking without, there is no faith. Then he said, Sri Ramakrishna said, he had the vision that if a person dies in Benares, he gets liberation. Standing on the boat in the Ganges, he saw a man, dead body was burning on the funeral pyre. The Divine Mother removed the knots, the bondage, and Shiva is giving the mantra. Sri Ramakrishna saw it, that how Shiva gives liberation to these people, those who die in Benares. Moreover, somebody asked Swami Girijananda, he asked Holy Mother, Mother, is it true that if a person dies in Benares, he will get liberation? Yes. Sri Ramakrishna saw it, and it is true. I asked this question to a Swami in Benares in 1970. So I said, Maharaj, do you believe that if a person dies in Benares, he will get liberation? He scolded me right and left. He said, we old fellows, we are waiting here to die, and you young man, you have come here to confuse our minds. He scolded me. Then I said, Maharaj, I just want you to know. You are a learned man, tell me. Then he said, you are right, I am also right. I said, how both can be right? You see, Lord Shiva at the last time gave liberation. Swami Sharadananda made a remark. This whole universe belongs to God. Can you not make a little exception that this spot should be Vimukta Nagari, free city? Just think about that, Washington DC. Whole country is there, Washington DC under the Akbar separate, Now I had a friend, he was in charge of the Japan Center. He had deep faith that he would die in Benares. So he moved to Benares, gave up this center in Japan, and he died there. He came here once, I remember. One day, it was Swami Abhedananda came. He had his own center in Calcutta, Ramakrishna Vedanta Math. He came to see Swami Sharadananda in Udbodhan. Udbodhan is North Calcutta. So I said, hey, I want Sharat. So he came, he was in upstairs. He came down and said, what is the matter, brother? But I have some private talk with you. So he said, all right. Swami Sharadananda asked the other monks, you please leave my room and we have some private talk. So Sharadananda asked something, and then these two, both are disciples of Ramakrishna. They have a loud talk, disagreement about something about some matter. I do not know what was the topic. So they are talking very loudly. So then Swami Bhumananda came, he was, "Well, you boys stay in the back." So he came, "Maharaj, we are listening your private talk from far away. Shall we go near the Ganges so that we may not hear your private talk?" Then both Swamis laughed. And then Sharadananda asked, "Hey, bring tea for my brother." But no, shall not drink tea. And then bring some prasad, a glass of cold water to my brother, Swami Avedananda. And then he left. Afterwards, the Swami has a stroke. After a few days, he has a stroke. The Swami described that what happened. He has a thrombosis attack. I saw Sharadananda came to Holy Mother's shrine. He bowed down to the mother. Mother's footprint is there. There is a glass case. Mother's footprint is there. He bowed down. Then it was hard for him to get up. Holding the cot of Holy Mother, he got up. Then he again bowed down, and again he moved back. Again bowed down. 2-3 times he bowed down, as if saying goodbye to the mother, that I must leave this world, I have enough. Then he came out from the mother's shrine. Then I hold the Charanamrita, that a pot with the sanctified water, that he took a little. And then he blessed me, put his hand on my head and blessed me. That was the last blessing I got from the Swami. And that evening, he had a stroke. Generally in the evening, he would come to his room and stay downstairs to greet the devotees. He was half body on the bed and half body on the floor. And he was trying to get up. So Swami Asheshananda and Swami Haripremananda was trying to lift him. He was very heavy. He was trying to lift him. But I shall try. So they put him to bed, bas. He lived few days, I think nearly a couple of weeks he was in that condition, a stroke, paralyzed. He could not speak. After 18 days he lived in that condition. When he died, Swami Shivananda was in Belur Math. He heard, "Tarakda, ami jatsi. I am leaving." He died. Swami Asheshananda gave a vivid description of Swami Sharadananda's passing away. People came from all over to see him. He could not talk, only sometimes lifting his hand, he blessed people. When he died, he found, the Swami wrote, "I found a monk who was a disciple of mother, but left the order, got married, have children. But I saw he was seated outside on the veranda, crying." Sharadananda. I was in Portland. And Portland Swami was the secretary of Swami Sharadananda. He told me many fascinating stories. A man had tuberculosis and he wanted to see the Swami. One day after lunch, the Swami started to visit that person in the central part of Calcutta. And Swami Asheshananda followed him. Why are you coming? You go. No, I must go with you. All right. Because Swami knew that that man has tuberculosis. If anything happens, it is a contagious disease. Let it come to me, not to this young monk. That is the reason he discouraged him. Don't come with me. But he followed. He went to see that person. He was coughing. Swami Sharadananda sat on his bed, blessed him. And that man gave an apple to Swami. He took this apple, came back. Swami Asheshananda told me, you know, that man was just like a loving mother. His inside is full of love and nothing else. Another story he told that there was one, she was Bharati Prana. She was the president of the Sharda Math, mother's disciple, mother's attendant. She says, Swami, you love us so much. But you know, there is a story that Bharat Raja loved a deer, and in the next life he became a deer. So please, you know, you do not show so much concern about us. Swami did not say a single word. Swami Sharadananda went to Belur Math after some days and came back, and Swami said to that devotee, Bharati Prana, you know, the other day you told me this question, that why I love you so much, love all of you. I went to Belur Math and I asked Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna appeared before me and said, you love all because you see me in them. And I see God in everybody. That is the reason I love everybody. Sri Ramakrishna one day lavishly giving blessing to everybody, and he did not ask anything. Then asked, you did not ask anything? You don't want anything? Yes, I want something. But what do you want? I want to see God in everything. Sri Ramakrishna said, hey, that is the last word. All right, you will get it. He used to see God in everything, in every being. You know, when we talked about the Swamis and when we think about the spiritual heritage of Sri Ramakrishna, we feel that how rich we are and how their lives transformed so many lives. That is called that is the result of real holy company. Transformation comes slowly, unconsciously. This holy association will transform us. Thank you. Tumeva mata cha pita tumeva bandhusya sakha tumeva vidya drvinam tumeva sarvam mama deva deva. Lord, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, you are my companion. You are my wealth, you are my learning, you are my all in all, O Lord. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be to all.